Hi, this is Water and Air 1111. Thank you for watching another video of mine. Thank you for everyone who's been liking, commenting, subscribing to my channel, to my videos. If you're interested in a personal reading, the link to my website is in the description below, as well as the coupon code for 10% off all of my readings, which is for the month of September. And the link to my Instant goes there as well if you just need a few tarot cards to answer your question. Now, this is going to be the Divine Feminine's energy reading. So I've already posted the Divine Masculine version of this. And so you would have already seen my new spread for this. So it's going to be a two-parter. The first is going to be the Divine Feminine's energy just in their life in general for what's going on. And the second part is going to be Divine Feminine's energy towards the Divine Masculine specifically. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to start it off with my Crystal Visions deck, and then we'll go from there. That one already wanted to pop out, so there may be some transformation going on Divine Feminine. Okay, so let's see what's going on. So Divine Feminine's energy. Energy towards their life. Okay, so we have the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords is about not taking action, obviously, because you can see she's laying down, but it's about feeling overwhelmed, being trapped in your thoughts, and that being debilitating you. In this deck, it's also kind of being debilitated by past experiences. So if you had previously negative experience about something, or you have fear surrounding something, those are the things that are coming up right now for some Divine Feminine. So clarifying this, and look at that. I mean, we have the Eight of Swords, which is a similar type of energy. These are the traps that are the thoughts that are just trapped in your mind that are not real, hurdles or obstacles, but for whatever reason, because you're trapped in this kind of cycle of Nine of Swords, of living out your fears, living out your kind of nightmares almost, it makes you feel, make you feel like this Eight of Swords energy. Six of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Okay. So again, so like I said, Nine of Swords, Divine Feminine. Right now, your energy for some of you is that you are just feeling trapped in your thoughts. You're thinking about worst case scenario. You're thinking about what if this doesn't happen? What if that doesn't happen? You're thinking about past experiences, past failures, past things that didn't go your way. And because of that, you're just stuck in that loop. It's looping over like a video in your mind, instead of putting it to bed and saying, I can still have my success and victory in whatever the situation is. Now with the Eight of Swords, like I was mentioning a second ago, you're feeling like you can't move. It's like because you're watching this video on a certain video of like, oh no, things aren't going to turn out the way I want. It's on loop right now with the Nine of Swords. So then when you get to the Eight of Swords, it's like, yeah, you feel like you can't move. You feel like the only thing you're seeing is that video on repeat, and you can't move out of it. You can't like change the story. You can't reimagine the storyline and have a new outcome take place, even though you're in the present. And these Nine of Swords is past experiences coming back up for you. Also with this Nine of Swords, we got the Six of Wands clarifying it. So like I said, there's a fear of failure. There's a fear that things aren't going to work out in your favor. There's a fear that you're not going to receive the recognition, the acknowledgement. For some of you, I feel like this is related to your career, related to your friend group, your family, especially family and career is what I'm getting the most. But with the Six of Wands, there's some fear of like people aren't going to acknowledge the work or the energy that you've put into something. They're not going to acknowledge and give you credit for what you've done, for the energy that you've contributed to some project, to some path that you're on. For some of you also with the Six of Wands, it's like there's a bit of fear or just like anxiety. And for some of you, it's not even fear or anxiety. It's just like frustration and almost checking out due to frustration when people don't acknowledge the work you've put in. I don't want to say validation because I don't really feel like you're needing validation from other people, but sometimes it's nice for someone to say like thank you, or to say, you know, I see that you're putting in the work even though no one gives you credit for it, that type of thing. Wanting to receive that, but definitely wanting to have some success, wanting to have victory, some acknowledgement that the energy and time and effort that you're putting into something, especially like I said, regarding your career, regarding family and family structures, family events, that it's appreciated basically. Now the last card that we got is the Knight of Wands. So in relation to the Knight of Swords, some of you are definitely having thoughts about your divine masculine, saying, is my divine masculine going to come in and make that offer to me? Are they going to come in, excuse me, and say, I need you, I want you, this is my intention for what I want? And for some of you, because like the way this Knight of Wands, it's kind of facing in the direction of the Six of Wands, I feel like some of you, you're having a little bit of like overthinking the situation regarding your divine masculine returning to you in relation to how your circle, your community, your social circle is going to receive your divine masculine for some reason. It's almost like for some of you, you want your divine masculine to come in, you want that to be in a better place, but also you're wanting your divine masculine to gel with other aspects of your life. And there's a little bit of, how is that going to happen? Especially if your you know, friends or family or something like that is aware of your divine masculine and maybe a little bit more of the details, there's a little bit of like, well, are they going to be able to gel together for when my divine masculine does come in? So let's go into a little bit more detail now. So again, this is a new spread if you hadn't already watched the divine masculine version, so that's why I'm doing things a little bit differently. But so clarifying the Eight of Swords, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So like I think I mentioned before, I feel like there's a little bit of fear or anxiety for the divine feminine right now regarding being successful in some way. So with this Ace of Pentacles, there may be some fear of being success, fear of being able to achieve goals surrounding the some type of career change, some type of career promotion, as well as just greater stability in terms of your finances. Like, am I going to get everything together like I want? You may feel like you can't for whatever reason. So let's see what this is about. So what is this Eight of Swords about? Eight of Swords. Okay, Five of Swords in reverse. So for some of you, what it is that you're overthinking and you're feeling like you may not be able to have success in or move on from may have to do with a situation where you felt, it may have to do with an actual like friendship or some type of relationship, but I feel like it's more friendship where someone may have done you wrong in some type of way. So there's a little bit of overthinking, of fear, of thinking about the past, being like, this person betrayed me in some type of way. How am I supposed to move on? You may feel like you can't move on and forgive whatever this situation was, this Five of Swords situation was. The bottom of the deck is the Moon. So this may have been a secret that came out, that someone, you know, did you wrong in some type of way. It may not have been like, let's get it clarified to see like what this was about. Okay, Six of Swords. So someone may have betrayed you regarding like literally like abandoning you in some type of way, leaving you behind for some reason. Now the bottom of the deck is the Chariot. So this almost feels like someone was supposed to, like you had made plans to do something with a friend, with a family member, with somebody, and then it didn't work out that way because they ended up secretly making their own plans. And because this Ace of Pentacles is still here, this could definitely be a work situation where you're working together with someone. You made a plan to do something, to work together to achieve your project goal or whatever it was, but then they want their own way to kind of almost get success that way instead of doing it with you like you originally planned. So then it's like, how do I move on from that? How do I get to a place where I can seemingly be okay with them? Yep, and I have the Strength card. So it's a question of how do I get over this situation? How do I get stronger in this situation when you've been marinating on this internally? So what is this Ace of Pentacles about? So we have the Four of Swords again, and then we have the bottom of the deck as the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So like I said, there's a struggle here about like, do you forgive someone basically? Do you forgive someone who betrayed you in some way, who kind of went off for their own success in some way, who left you behind, who went against the plan that you originally made with them? Do you forgive them? You've been marinating on this, like I said. You've been thinking on this a lot and you haven't been dealing with it. But now it's coming to a point, because I do feel like this could be a work situation. And if it's not work, it's definitely like a close friendship, something like that. So it's like, do you forgive this person and say we're going to start a new leaf? But with this Nine of Pentacles reverse, you still feel unstable just thinking about this person. I feel like you feel like almost like it makes your skin crawl, like, man, how am I supposed to trust this person? So let's go to the next card. So the next card that we got was the Six of Wands. So clarifying that is the Temperance card. So like I was mentioning before, some Divine Feminine, you're having kind of anxiety or fear or overthinking a situation because you're wanting to receive basically your props. You're wanting to receive all of the credit that you deserve, because for whatever this situation was with the Six of Wands, it's like you haven't been receiving public recognition. You haven't been receiving a pat on the back or any acknowledgement for the effort that you've been putting into something. So you are really just wanting this situation to be balanced. You're wanting to see that, you know, if you put effort into something, if you put energy into something, that you're going to get the output that you would deserve, that is appropriate for that situation, for that task, whatever it is. And then because these are both fire signs, and I just split the deck and I got the Temperance card again, so you could definitely be dealing with the fire sign, a Sagittarius in particular. So what is this acknowledgement, the Six of Wands, about? Okay, so we got two cards. So we got the Queen of Cups in the reverse, and we have the Three of Wands upright. So I feel like with this Six of Wands situation, the kind of acknowledgement that you are wanting to have, the balance that you're wanting to have, and the kind of credit that you're wanting to have is something you've been waiting for with this Three of Wands. It's like you've been putting effort into something. You've been working to build something in your life. Again, whether that's building a career, building your reputation, building a foundation, helping someone in some type of way. You've been putting a lot of effort into it, and you've been waiting to receive what you deserve. Queen of Cups reverse, I feel like it may have made you a little bit emotional, the fact that you haven't been receiving what was fair and balanced for you. Also with this Queen of Cups reverse, I feel like some of you have like had this kind of on your heart, on your mind a bit, like almost feeling like you want to confront someone directly about it, but I don't necessarily feel like you're going to do that. Yeah, and we have the Four of Pentacles there. So this is something you've been holding in, you've been thinking, you've been kind of patiently waiting as these emotions brew up about things not being fair, about feeling like things should go a different way. So again, you're wanting things to be balanced. So what is this situation about? What is this? Okay, so we have two cards. So we have the Devil reversed, and we also have the Eight of Swords reversed, which is great because we had the Eight of Swords upright right there. So I feel like what's needing to be balanced is definitely a karmic cycle. For some of you, the acknowledgement that you've been waiting to receive, it could have been from like a karmic lesson that you've been learning. And I feel like the balance that you're going to get and the success you're going to have in this situation ultimately is going to be from you speaking your truth and addressing a situation head on. And I also feel like the other person will be open to this conversation though, that you've been thinking about. But it's like you're going to be balancing it yourself because you're going to be getting out of your own head and starting to take action to fix the situation that you felt kind of trapped by. Because again, you've been a little bit emotional and like emotions brewing up about this and sitting here like waiting, when is someone going to acknowledge what I've done for them? It's like someone being a bit ungrateful. Bottom of the deck is the Tower reverse. So you're just kind of, you're going to say your piece, and then the pieces will fall where they may, almost. Let's get another card. Yep, Ten of Swords reversed. This situation is going to end in the Fool. You're going to start a new situation. So this is definitely, some of you, it's part of your own karmic journey. Five of Pentacles reversed. You're going to take yourself out of the cold, basically. You're going to take yourself out of this Three of Wands on the shore waiting for something to happen, because you're going to be like, you know what? If you don't value me, that's fine, but I'm going to move on. And so I'm going to tell you I'm going to move on right now. So let's go to the last card. So again, the last card we got for you is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands. So I do feel like that's some divine feminine who are thinking about their divine masculine returning, coming to them. And like I also said, some of you with your divine masculine, thinking of your divine masculine coming, you're thinking of how other people in your life are going to receive them, how they're going to acknowledge them or not acknowledge them. And there's a little bit of fear about acceptance, especially if someone knows more of the details of your connection. I mean, we can be frank here. Sometimes knowing all of the details, especially everyone's journey is different and all of that, but like things sound weird to other people because they just don't understand, because they're not exactly on the same journey that we are on. And that's fine. But there's a little bit of anxiety or fear about like, how is my divine masculine going to be received? I want him to come back. I want them to come back. I want to receive them well, but also how are the other people in my life going to receive them? So the card we got for that is the Six of Swords. Like I said, you're wanting your divine masculine to come back. You're wanting things to start over with you two, but you're also thinking about how is this new start going to affect other aspects of your life. So let's see. So Knight of Wands, the Hangman reverse. So like I said, once your divine masculines come to you and says that, you know what, I learned my lesson, I've realized whatever I've realized, and you can see it, and again, they come in as your Knight of Wands, speaking their truth, speaking the new realizations that they've made in their life. What is the Six of Swords about? Four of Wands. So they're going to be coming in like wanting to start a new chapter, and this is the things you're thinking about. My divine masculine is going to come in, they're going to say the lessons they've learned, they're going to say the stability they want with me and the passion that they want with me. They're going to say that they made the choice to come towards me, to have the stability towards me. Bottom of the deck is the Emperor, which is my divine masculine card. They're going to be taking their control to say, I'm going to control my destiny. I'm going to take my own decision. I'm going to come towards my divine feminine. And this is what you, divine feminine, are thinking about. So how is this related to this? How is this Knight of Wands connected to the Six of Wands? Two of Wands. So like I said, I feel like some divine feminine are thinking my divine max is going to come in. They're saying they made their choice. They want the stability that they've learned and realize things about themselves and about us. But then with the other people and the acknowledgement that I kind of want other people to give to me and the credit that I want people to give to me, how is that going to, acknowledgement and credit going to be given to my divine masculine? And so there's a little bit of, like, it could go either way with this Two of Wands. You kind of, and I feel like this is a divine feminine, this Two of Wands. It's like, am I going to care what these other people think, or am I not? Bottom of the deck is the Eight of Wands reversed. So it's like, do I care about the communication that's going to be coming in, or do I not? And also, as the divine masculine's coming in, are you going to want them to make a decision almost about how they're presenting themselves or not? We have the Star card because you want things to be healed, you want things to be positive between the two of you. You don't want to be in your mind about it. But at the same time, I feel like there's just a few people who are like thinking about the possible secrets that will come out, thinking about what the outcome will be with the integration basically between their divine masculine and the other people that are close in your life. Especially whoever the Six of Wands people are in your life. So we also got the Queen of Wands, which is about, you know, being determined, knowing that you're going to achieve your goals, kind of being self-assured and like got everything under control and confident. Bottom of the deck is the Ten of Pentacles reversed. So like I said, I feel like some of you are thinking when my divine masculines come in, like, am I going to be confident that there's not going to be any instability in the integration and kind of melding of our two lives together or not? So that's the divine feminine, what's going on in your own energy. So I'm going to pause here and I'll come back and I will do divine feminine towards the divine masculine energy. Okay, so let's see the energy for the divine feminine towards the divine masculine. And let me know what you think of the new spread, if you like this format. I've been using it lately, but I'm just now kind of introducing it to my general readings on YouTube. Okay, so divine feminine energy towards divine masculine. Divine feminine energy towards divine. Okay. The Star. So with the Star right now, the divine feminine's energy towards the divine masculine is that they want to heal things, that they want to build things back up, that they want to let go of the past and kind of, I feel like this is really divine feminine wanting to kind of, I can't think of a better phrase than like glue things back together, but heal things. They're wanting to heal together with the divine masculine and build from there going forward. Now the bottom of the deck is the Page of Wands, so that's talking of kind of doing this in maybe a playful way. I feel like some divine feminine may be wanting to, especially because we got all those Knight of Wands for the divine feminine, for the divine masculine's energy, and the previous spread I just did. So I feel like with this Page of Wands, Divine Feminine is wanting to kind of slowly build and heal things back up with the Divine Masculine. But this is like healing together, I feel. They're wanting to grow together and heal together and get things back on the right track together with the Divine Masculine. And with the Page of Wands, like this is a girl and she's playing her flute, almost like to attract, and she has the dragon there. I feel like it's kind of luring, and that's probably the wrong word, but it's kind of like attracting a certain playfulness and lightheartedness. So I feel like that's what the Divine Feminine is kind of doing, wanting to use that certain lightheartedness and playfulness to really start building things back together with the Divine Masculine and having things heal and get stronger. So we also have the Six of Swords, the Three of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles. Okay. So not only is the Divine Feminine wanting things to heal and to grow together with the Divine Masculine, they're wanting to do this in a way where we can really leave everything behind, where we can say, you know, the past is the past. We have a new mindset about each other, about what we each contributed to the situation and what we want to contribute going forward. We're changing our minds. We're changing our viewpoint, our perspective on each other, on ourselves, and we're growing. With this Three of Wands, also, you're thinking about the future. The Divine Masculine got this as well. The Divine Feminine's thinking about, you know, healing things and building a future with the Divine Masculine. And not just building a future together, but building one where they feel passionate and loving and stable with the Divine Masculine in a way that really solidifies their partnership. So it's never quote unquote boring. It's something that the spark will forever be alive and forever be passionate between the two of them. That is the type of thing that the Divine Feminine is feeling right now towards the Divine Masculine. It's like we don't just want to heal and make things better and say, let's turn a new leaf. We're trying to build a future where the passion can forever stay alive, where the spark can forever stay alive as well. And lastly, we have the Six of Pentacles. So adding on top of all of that, Divine Feminine's wanting to have this balance in the give and take. Divine Masculine also got this card. Wanting to have the balance in the give and take and what's being contributed to the relationship. So it's not just that the Divine Feminine's giving a lot or the Divine Masculine's giving a lot, but there's an equality going on. And again, those are the things that are going to make this healing that the Divine Feminine is wanting to really be solidified. So underneath the Six of Swords, we have the Three of Pentacles, which again, like I kind of mentioned before, wanting to start a new chapter together. And this new chapter, it's a new mentality. We're turning a new leaf when we're working together and we're building a foundation here. We're not just kind of lollygagging or keeping it surface level or physical. We're building for the future. And I'll get one card for this. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the Lovers came right out. So turning a new chapter where this connection is strong as ever and the connection is strong and then we're building from there. Also have the Strength card. So again, we have the Infinity, another kind of twin flame symbol. So building a future that's strong, that's connected, where we feel all of the... We're basically... There's the building a connection and building a new chapter where not only is the connection energetically and spiritually strong, but in the 3D world it's just as strong. We're building on the kind of 5D and the 3D plane, basically. And the last card that came out like this is the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So starting a new chapter where all of these feelings of Five of Pentacles from both sides is being dealt with accordingly so that it finally becomes in reverse, which is what we want. And the bottom of the deck is the Eight of Swords in reverse again. So that comes from communications, from not feeling like something is blocked. So for the Three of Wands, we have the Six of Wands again in the same position. So Divine Feminine, like I said, thinking of the future, thinking of how we're healing and how we're building forward, thinking of what is our future going to look like, because we're not just wanting stability, we're wanting passion, we're wanting excitement, because that is a part of our connection as well. Thinking of how to be successful and really establishing long-term a partnership, a relationship that will forever be, I want to say forever be alive, but that's not right. That will forever be exciting and as passionate from day 1 to day 50. The card that we have is the Tower. So we're breaking down any and all barriers that would prevent this kind of passion and this kind of excitement and drive and creativity from being as present and impactful as it needs to be. So this may require, and the Divine Feminine may be thinking about the changes that may need to happen in order for this to occur. So these changes might involve changes in your environment, changes in your thought process, definitely, changes in your career, but thinking about all those things that go into it, how it's going to wreck or not wreck, how it's going to just shake up the game. Bottom of the deck is the Ten of Wands reversed. So all the things that needs to be dropped, everything that needs to be shaken up to have the life that the Divine Feminine is desiring. And the card that just fell on the floor is the Ten of Pentacles. So having the stability that is at the forefront of the mind means that you have to shake things up. So let's go on to the last card, which is the Six of Pentacles. So having that balance and the input into the relationship. So not just one giving more to the other, but balance and contribution. And we have the Seven of Cups. So Divine Feminine is realizing that in order to have this kind of balance in the relationship with the Divine Masculine that they want, that there has to be certain choices that have to be made. They're options. You can choose to do this or you can choose not to do this. So with that, there's a responsibility for both people for what needs to be chosen and what needs to be done in order for this to happen. And with choice comes sacrifice. So realizing that there needs to be some sacrifices. And as I'm saying that, the card that came out is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So one of the sacrifices may be realizing that you can't just be this ultimate single person doing your own thing all the time. That there may be a time where you have to not be single, where you have to not put yourself first. And we also have the King of Cups, where you're having to become emotionally mature. And this is for both the feminine and the masculine, needing to be emotionally mature and make the best decisions from a stable way, not from a kind of emotionally volatile type of way. And the bottom of the deck is the Ten of Cups. So in order to get this happiness, you can't be the single person all the time for some situations. And you can't be not in this King of Cups energy, completely owning your emotions and making the positive decisions. Yep, judgment. Again, it's a decision that needs to be made. Like I just said, when you have a choice, that means you have to concede something because you can't have everything. There's certain decisions that have to be made, again, from both sides. Otherwise, things aren't going to be able to go forward in a positive and successful type of way. So that is the reading for the Divine Feminine's energy towards the Divine Masculine. Let me know if this resonates. Let me know in the comments. And if you like this spread, yeah, if you're interested in a reading, the link to my website is in the description below. And I still have the 10% off for all of my readings for the month of September if you're interested in that. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.